Timberwolves are going to win the world championship.
Edwards. Edwards! They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, baby. What's up, Wad Squad? Coming at you late with a 10:30 CST post-game show live. The Wolves take care of business handedly, 112-110. I was getting ready to just boast about this team, the 3-game win streak, the fact that that first half looked like a new team, and then we kind of came out of halftime with our shorts wetted, and no one could really score. Our scoring efficiency dropped to abysmal rates, and it's kind of like in Minnesota fashion, right? We win it by defense. The Jordan Addison dive, the late game heroics from Dante DiVincenzo, the defense hustle from him as well, all game long, honestly. And I think we know our identity. I think our offense is a work in progress. It's now 30 games in. The sample size is over. We can't really hang on to the past anymore, but we can build off of last year's kind of heroics of defense will always be there. And I think that might be the story of this game, because we had no answers for Victor Wembanyama except for him missing on his own. We couldn't make a shot, and especially in the third quarter. And I think we pulled kind of a rabbit out of our hats. They made the start of the fourth quarter. They just pulled ahead to 9. It probably could have been a double-digit lead had it not been for DiVincenzo to kind of really come get us back into things, and a little bit of Julius Randle as well. We had a really hard time passing the ball too. I think they were in the passing lanes, a lot of turnovers to kind of really set us back. And I just want to say, Victor Wembanyama had a pretty tame first half, but he really came alive in the second half, 23 points. And he's incredible. And it's kind of a weird thing to say out loud, because there was a lot of other people that kind of came to play, but it's kind of a one-man band over there right now. And we almost lost to that. And I think that would have been a tough pill to swallow. The Vikings win 9 in a row. The Vikings are just remarkable to watch as a team. And it feels good to watch that team. I think Timberwolves right now. Oh, hope you guys can hear me. I couldn't believe it, but my microphone is way back there. This might be better now. But hey, let's get into some business here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. All 100 plus of you already. Whoa, that's amazing. Cameron's out he's just out right now, and would love to have you guys here. Giving your likes and support. Hit that thumb or whatever that is, and share it with your mom, because this is the last home show of the year, but more to come this week as we face Boston in the new year. Whoa, that sucks. And more from Cameron as well, because I'll be kind of off on a little bit of a touring spree. But love your support. # join the Discord. We have a Discord that's growing at a very healthy rate, and it's amazing. It keeps everything kind of super low key, and honestly, this is sports. It's supposed to be fun and entertaining. Sometimes we give it our all, we stress about it, we clench our butts, and that's what happened in those last 35, 40 seconds. Wemby is amazing. Those threes are ridiculous. That thing that shot, I don't even know what that was at the end of the game, and he made that. That was incredible. And I thought they were going to go to him at the end of the game. Why did they go to Sohan or whoever? The Kooshball himself. I question those kind of those plays, but hey, we didn't run any plays at all. So like that was relieving to see. Let's get into some comments before I kind of break down more of this game. But wait, we started out awesome, huh? Fast break, transition, that second unit that comes in, the 8-man starting unit, the bench mob, we call it. There's probably a reason why those three kind of come in and inject energy because they're younger, they're hungrier, they want the starter minutes, they want to be a starter. And also they just feel like they're just way more in sync and in synergy with the core, which is Julius and Ant. And Rudy had a hard time at the start of the game, but kind of like persevered through, had a huge game, honestly. And Conley just it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's like Conley is starting, but Chris Paul is so much more effective. Conley isn't doing anything. He is just running up and down the court, senior center style. And they have games in senior centers, right? They oh man, I'll shut up. That's bad. I'm older than Conley. But let's go. DiVincenzo is back. It takes 30 games, but now he's there 5-6 games in a row, and now I think back-to-back 20-plus point games. This is why we made the trade. Like, this is exciting. We're going to break down the box score and the game, like stats and everything. We're going to do a tier list as well. But like DiVincenzo, welcome addition to the roster, because I don't know if we make the trade without him, and this is why. Like it's so much. I feel like it's so much easier to play with him. I feel like when he gets his shot going, he's playing with a different type of energy, and you see the hustle, you see his defense, you see his he does it all. He gets the kind of put back to allow for Rudy's put back dunk. Like we don't have our others do that. It's DiVincenzo. That's scrappy. That's crazy. That's tenacity. That's what he needs. Like we need that from all other players, and we don't get that kind of routinely and in a consistent base. And I think he's providing that in spades. But Rue, which is probably like a Rue, I don't know. I love it. Cash, never in doubt. BX rep. Exactly. Welcome to the show, everyone. Mason Smith. What did I just witness? Just a casual Sunday. Vikes and Wolves with the delay. What happened on the court? I don't know. But an hour delay kind of maybe even had a ripple effect into the game. Ant had a pretty nice start, but then kind of just shot himself out of the game, honestly. I don't think he did much of anything tonight. But you will see from me you will hear from me when we talk about him. There was some defense that just it's getting exciting again when he puts the the shoes on and he clamps down, 10 toes down, whatever the fuck they say, and he really cares and gives a shit. Like his defense is top notch. You saw that in block. You saw them guarding Wemby. Oh man, it's a sight to see. We came swinging though. Wow! We pushed it to 16 points at one point, and it was going to look like a casual Sunday, serenade. I don't know why I'm saying those words, but like it sounded like it was going to be like that, and they didn't kind of give in. It really felt like they were going to just like throw in the towel, and then Harrison Barnes with the no dip threes, and Keldon Johnson getting in the line a bunch. Like I don't know, like kind of pissed me off. Wemby popped off in the second half, and that's what happened. And then we just had to persevere. We're going to have these kind of games. Hey, we won. That's way more important than anything else I'm about to say. And Jay, welcome, my friend. Love the Chris Carter with the swag. I'm deeply in love with Dante DiVincenzo. Is it the hair? Is it the armband? What is it? What is it about him that you are so in love with him? Rudy, the free throw king. Yeah, that's something I wanted to bring up. It's awesome to see that he hit 5 out of 6, but like we're having a hard time getting to the line. We're having a hard time kind of muscling and getting those calls. Maybe sometimes it kind of like the ricochet effect of us getting those calls against us, and when we're trying to pout and we're trying to like get those types of calls on the other end, it doesn't happen. But also kind of our offense lends itself to like certain styles where when Ant has the ball, it's like not moving the ball. When like Julius has the ball, it's like either a play make or it's mostly ISO. And so those calls don't happen when the ball's swinging, when the ball's moving. Oh, we are such a different team. And I think that's obviously like maybe what's going to be talked about tonight is like just look at that second quarter. Why can't we be like that all the time? It's easy, it's fun, our it's dynamic, and we're a defensive first team with transition seems so easy to repeat. And we have all these players that can play at like various speeds too. Um, but I don't know, somehow we just play slow with the starting units of that consist of Gobert and Conley, and maybe that allows the other team to come back in games or take a big, you know, chunk out of the start of the games for us too, because they were up early and like that was frustrating. And then like we came back, pulled it to 16. Anyways, uh Gerald Becker, what's up, my friend? Stress with 25 S's. That's exactly right. Road to 52 wins is gonna be this. I feel like this season is gonna be nothing but this word. Capital letters, all cap, um, Biggie fries. Wolves, Tycoon W says. Big W, small W. Tycoon, small W. Let's go, Butterfly. Hey, it was so fun having you all in the Discord again. Marcos and you were just like trading gifts. It was hilarious. Kind of gives a lot of life to when these games are so tight and stressful. It's like it's awesome to have you guys. Shout out to the Discord. Shout out to all of you. I hope you guys have been enjoying the season so far, but mostly the season with us because I think we're providing value to each other, and I think that's really nice and heartfelt and like heart. I don't know, wholesome. Yeah, there it is. Minnesota winning Sunday. That's all we do in Minnesota. We win sometimes. Oh my God. Let's break down the tier list here in a minute, but I'm trying to catch up with all of you guys. I'm 35 minutes behind. Dante A1, my not doing lots of intangibles. Shout out to Why Not, My Not, Bing Bong himself. 11 minutes, man. Like that's sweet to see. Like if I'm My Not, I'm pumped about this. Like was I expecting to be getting into the rotation, especially when they made the trade to like get more depth off the bench? I don't. If I was My Not, I was like, I'd probably be like, "Hey, what's up, G League?" But he is cemented himself like never going to that space again, and his headspace is like very. It's got to be through the roof right now, and I think we're encouraging him and just seeing him like knock down shots and getting hustle rebounds, and especially the previous games, like getting those like assist transitions plays. He's like really feisty, and I love it. Um, more. That's the problem. Like I'm gonna go all over the place. But like, how are we developing the youth without having them play minutes, meaningful minutes, or even like it's frustrating. Sometimes if you blow out teams, you can have like a whole quarter's worth of like here's some development time, but we have to fight for these wins this year. I mean, we fought for a lot of those scrappy wins last year too, but we had our healthy amounts of blowouts. And this year, I don't know if we're going to really blow out many teams. Just because our shot is hot and cold, and our offense goes in and out of meaningful to meaningless and stagnant to beautiful, really. So that second quarter is something to rewatch and kind of like get excited about. I bet you shout out to Howls and Growls. He'll kind of focus probably on the second quarter and just how that identity is going to be such a like a reason for our success. For that, let's keep going. Crone, what's up? Minnesota teams are testing our cardiac health this year, holiday season. Yeah, after that Christmas meal, you better have gotten your reps in because this is like heart attack inducing. Wemby's Nerf hoop dunk was ridiculous. Oh my god. The things he can't do and can do. Well, there's nothing he can't do, but the things he can do, I am basically constantly amazed. But also, I'm getting used to it. Like there are some like we saw like a mini version of it with Giannis, as he was kind of growing into the league. He still does crap that I don't understand. Yeah, Wemby's is like from the free throw line. It's pretty silly. And this was supposed to be a blowout game. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like the Spurs are neck and neck with us in the standings, and maybe they have a couple people out and stuff, and they don't have Popovich coaching right now. Ooh, which is so. I hope everything's okay with him, but We should have blown this team out, huh? Just feeling the vibes of what happened last night or last game against Houston, the come from behind, miraculous output. Like, my gosh, these are probably have to feel good. These wins, kind of closing out the year. Um, Now we're kind of finding ourselves in a groove where Julius is a little bit more point Jew, and Dante DiVincenzo feels like there's a role. He's leading our bench mob as opposed to kind of being an afterthought, right? Where we have to like kind of gauge if we're having Ant and DiVincenzo on the court together, or DiVincenzo and Na on the court together. Now we're just like playing them because they're their best players on the court, and like hands off or hands what? Tip my cap off to Finch for kind of realizing that maybe 30 games too late, but also hell yeah, right? Because maybe lots of other things in play here. Tortito Scooper. I don't think I've heard your name before, Nicole. It's hard to blow any team out in the NBA, especially teams as competitive as Spurs. Agreed. But I mean, it's our reality. We can expect certain outcomes, and I agree. Julius with a really good game defensively. I think he played the impossible matchup as best as he could against Victor Wembanyama. I feel like Gobert started on Sohan, and Sohan hit a three at the start. That was super annoying. And yeah, cool. Wow. You're good. You're good as well, Matthew. Oh, I'm sure you're talking about when the mic was 5 feet that way. All righty, let's move. Let's move. Let's move. Ragnarok. Another double for Jaden. Yeah, that putback dunk. Oh, more hustle, more energy, because we don't see it from him consistently. But 10 rebounds. He's probably listening to what like we require. Because boy, like his shot is not falling at a rate that we need him to, but like we need the hustle because we need these rebounds more than anything. We need to shut down possessions because that's been our biggest bugaboo like this year, honestly, is like despite all the things that we might be saying about specific players here and there, is just closing possessions out. We might have this killer wall, defensively, but we just don't get the rebound. Like what was that whole possession for, right? So yeah. Nick Anderson, what's up, my friend? I've been on DiVincenzo's bandwagon for the whole year. It's nice to have him finally be catching his groove. Amen. Not popped off. Glad Finch gave him a few minutes. It's okay. This is also sad. Yeah, Conley. 22 minutes too much, I feel like if he doesn't get anything going, I'm glad he hit that three. It was like off of a rebound transition or like a rebound kind of like pass swing. He hit a three, but he was absolutely abysmal from everything else. I think he got that one foul call on like Harrison Barnes. That was like the only thing I remember him doing. That's actually the only thing he did all game. Those free throws and that three. Wow, that sucks. Oh my gosh, Cameron, a member for 13 months. Did you guys know that? You can be a member. That'd be sick. But also, there's like a membership fee. I don't know what it is, but it gives you access to emojis and stuff. The Discord's free. The show is free. Don't do it, or do it because all that money that comes into this show is going right back to you. Cameron has big plans for the rest of the year, or the start of the new year rather, in terms of giveaways. We were kind of we emptied our barrel last year because oh my god, that season was remarkable. Getting to the Western Conference Finals, we were just like giveaways. We had nothing left, so we were kind of building our kind of bank to do more giveaways this year, and it just was a little bit slower as the season has not been what we wanted it to be, right? So. And low-key referees were on the Spurs side this game. Renzi, it's hard to kind of, dismiss this. Like, you don't want to talk about the refs ever, but it's just kind of like, yeah, maybe we are a little bit rose-colored Timberwolves fans, right? There's some obvious craziness, and, there's some craftiness that Chris Paul has, and Wemby falling, and you got to protect the superstars, right? But, no, we don't get the same calls. Ant doesn't drive to the rim with enough savviness. He kind of goes to the rim the way he does, as he doesn't really flop and he doesn't really craft the contact. He just tries to get the hoop to go in, and yeah, he only gets one free throw. Like, yeah, something that we got to work on, but not trying to, blame the refs or point at the refs at anything. But wow, I said we're going to get to the tier list 20 minutes ago. Sabrina, miss you. I hope you've had a wonderful year, and go Wolves as always. But I hope to see more of you. Gon's Walk. Ant is one of the least clutch stars in the league this year. People are just riding the coattails of last year, but he's not been good in the fourth this year at all. I don't know. He's had an up and down year in terms of like effectiveness, and the fourth quarter kind of stats probably, as you have been mentioning, maybe tell us a bit of a story. But he's shot the three, maybe the best of his career. He's had his first kind of essentially game winner last night against Houston, or last game against Houston. I think he's building into kind of changing that story or that narrative, Gonzalez, hopefully, right? But also, hopefully, we don't need fourth quarter heroics. We can just blow teams out and stuff. KG TD 21, love the username. I feel like I remember you from like forums like Real GM and stuff. Starter minutes in the third quarter killed all the momentum. Absolutely, that was one of the big talking points I completely forgot to talk about. So there it is. I'm now convinced that Finch is being held hostage. Whoa, that took a turn. To forcefully give the starting unit at least 25 minutes a game, SMH. Well, I feel like there's some stuff that we just don't know as fans. Politicking, the fact that you kind of don't owe a player anything, but like they've earned certain play time, But like CP3, like probably shouldn't be starting. Like, I think Stephen Castle probably could, but he had a miserable game tonight. In like 6 minutes, he had 4 or 5 turnovers. Chris Paul had 15 assists, no turnovers. Like, we don't have that from Conley, but Conley just cuts his time. And maybe there's some truth to that, but at the same time, let's move on. But that third quarter was a tough watch because at one point we had like 7-8 points to their complete comeback. That's like embarrassing, honestly. Jake Erickson, Eric Heller, Blake Frostness, what's up? Oglio, what up? Jaden has always had the tools to be a big rebound for us. Agreed. 10 out of 10 comment. But like sometimes when we had like Kat and Rudy, they would fight for rebounds. When they had Vando and Kat, they would fight for rebounds. When we have Vando, Nas, they all want their stats to kind of prove their dynamics. And like maybe Jaden just gets kind of lost in all that and was like, okay, I'll just be Mr. Run Up and Down guy because why I'm getting paid or will get paid previous to his actual contract was like just on ball defense, right? And kind of like last ditch, like kind of like post defense. I think it's really good post defensive player. But yeah, guys, tier list time. Also, I don't know if I should actually link this, but I had made a straw poll. I've never done it in my life. I feel like I'm going to do this. I'm going to share it with you guys for no reason. I don't know how I'm doing this. Here it is. Straw poll. This is just the stupidest This is the stupidest straw poll you'll ever straw poll. There it is. I'm going to post it a couple more times for you guys to get in here and vote. What is that vote? What are we doing in here? Well, we are. Let me see here. Question we threw up is, what now, Watt Squad? Make a choice. No trades. You trade. Maybe only if the price is right, or only at the trade deadline. You can actually do absolutely nothing or participate. Sounds good to me, regardless. And hopefully I shared the right thing. Oh, man. Oh, people are voting. Nice. We're going to conclude. We're going to go to that poll at the end of the tier list. Let's get into it. Reminder that this is quite difficult as someone by themselves. and only with one little screen right here. Hopefully getting a second screen soon. I actually got a laptop, but it's over there and I'm lazy. So I might miss some of your comments. So let's go with Eric Heller's at Cameron. The Spurs flops a lot. We're gonna keep that there for a minute as we go through a couple players. Oh my gosh. Guys, this was a sellout. How crazy. We had 60 points in the paint. Incredible amount of just like impact in that area. And that's cool. We didn't get to the line enough. At one point we were like 11 free throws to their 20, and I was like pissed off, but how do we do this, guys? Oh, there it is. For all you podcast listeners at home, which I don't even know if we're actually throwing this on Spotify or anything, we have a tier list that we do nightly. Even when we're not online, we do a little tier list, and it's kind of like an A1 to Glenn Taylor, where A1 is never seen it before, can't forget, unremarkable game. Cash to A to B to meh. D'Lo's on the Nets, LOL. Wancho bottoms. There's an old ass tier for a very specific special someone. I think they're properly in this place right now. And Glenn Taylor to round us out, as we have protests in your honor, Glenn Taylor. Okay, who do we have first? Jaden, Julius, Rudy, Anthony, Mike. We'll get to you later, my friends. Let's start off with Josh Minot. Why not? Himself. 11 minutes, 5 points, 4 rebounds. Positive player. B. I don't want to really get into it. I just think that we've all watched. We're watching the same thing. We don't have really divergent comments on this guy, except for that we're fucking excited for him. His first shot was an air ball, really wide air ball, but the second shot he hit was in. His catch was awesome, and I think he's doing things that we need desperately. We need energy. We need hustle. We need 50-50 balls. He's going to do that for us. 4 rebounds in 11 minutes. Sometimes Jaden McDaniels gets 4 rebounds in 3 games. So he's immediately already impacting that aspect, that floor, the court in that regard. That's awesome. Naz Reid. Not 6th man of the year candidate quality play right now today, but he was he's had a very up and down season. My God, how cool was it to have his best year, 6th man of the year, have the towel like for Naz Reid, like have the honk if you're horny, or honk if you like Naz. I forgot what it was. Honk if you like Naz Reid or something. And then Naz Reid towels everywhere during his best year. Like, that is just remarkable. That would feel weird if it was happening right now, because he's not having his best year. He's having kind of a return to normal form where he's behind Cat and he's struggling, he's frustrated, he's shooting the piss out of the ball, but he's not really hitting nylon. He does all right. In 20 minutes, 11 points, 4 rebounds, and a killer block shot after a mistake on transition or something like that. That's cool. I'm going to give this guy a B. Bit of tearflation in my regard, in my mind, but also like moving on. Maybe I'm missing some of the chatter about Nas, but I think he played his role well, and we didn't extend him. We didn't burn him into the ground. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't like waste his time out there. We like tried to use him. He doesn't have it. Put him back in the bench, or put him back on the bench, and like try bring some new energy out there. And maybe last game it was amazing. It was like a miracle where we were like, all right, Gobert, it's time for you to go to the bench. Let's bring in Reed with 5 fouls and see what he can do. And he like brings us back into the game to win, right? So like, when you have it, you ride that hot hand, and like that's what we did last game. That's what we're doing for the most part. That's part of Finch's plan and philosophy. When Naz Reid doesn't have it, it's like, what is his big value? Is just a spacer. He can be a kind of a playmaker, but we have Julius. So Rudy, Naz Reid, Randall have the bigs under control. We don't need to overextend Reid's minutes if he doesn't have it. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I feel so strongly for this guy that he's like one of the best players on our team this year. For some reason, he only had 15, 16 minutes tonight. 6 pounds, 6 pounds. What? 6 points, a couple turnovers, but also just like a steal, a couple assists, rebounds. He does it all. He hit 2 threes. Why did he only get 16 minutes? This is a B. He's been maybe the best player of the season. I don't quite understand the times, but I don't know if I care. A win's a win's a win's win. Dante DiVincenzo, which we should probably save for later, so we will. To the starters. And let's move on from Cameron. San Antonio flops a lot. Honk if you're what? Nah, it was a B. Exactly. If we're not trading Julius, Conley should come off the bench. Absolutely. Their games do not match. Absolutely. Bigus with the facts. Let's keep this out here for a minute. Cool. To the starters. Quick reminder: Cameron's so good at this. I'm absolutely horseshit at it. Like the show. I don't know if you like this like vibe check. No real analysis. Random dude on the internet, just face with gray hair, getting grayer by the game. Just vibing with you. Give us a like. We're at like 2+ K followers. It's really just remarkable. Like we probably gained most of that last year, and we're just building on it from casually because we can't really do this every game, but we try to. And if it's not one of us, maybe it's a no show. But sometimes we have guests on. It's awesome. Um, we have remarkable off-season content that we never do, and the most important thing is we have a killer community who's very supportive, who meets us at the arena at times. Cameron's going to be in Minnesota in February, probably the first couple weeks of February. It'd be so cool to have you guys have a little Wad Squad meetup. And we do merch, we do giveaways, but also most importantly, I feel like we have an awesome community with the Discord. Shout out to the Discord, join the Discord, hashtag Discord, whatever Cameron says, and let's have a conversation about the Minnesota Timberwolves, about things that we can't control but we can bitch about. That's awesome, right? It's so much fun to do. Honestly, it's therapy sometimes when it's like it's just me and a wall and a screen. The screen's yelling at me. The Timberwolves are going to lose. I yell at the wall. I punch the wall. I scream. But this Discord community has really kind of mellowed me the fuck out. To the starters, Mike Conley shouldn't be a starter. Old as fuck tier. I have to say, it was very fun to have him kind of debut our jerseys with Young Gravy and Nas Reed last year. Get into some flow where he's kind of orchestrating some offense when, get the ball out of Ant's hands, run a play or two. It was really cool to see the dynamics of Cat and Conley and Gobert, but right now, I don't know who this guy is. It is a shell of a player who used to be one of the best. One of the best, kind of like top tier point guards of the league, but not the best, right? Like you'd always got to do enough, and also defensively was his identity. He is the reason why so much transition happens. He is the reason why we need to switch and double and help the helper and really get frustrated on defense. And if it's not because of like Julius, like prior games where he's like getting exposed defensively, it's Conley always. And like we're not blaming Conley enough. We're not blaming Finch for like reasons why Conley's out there. Someone said earlier in chat, like, is Conley just like owed this kind of time? I don't think so. I think we are in need of a point guard in the worst way right now. And it can't be DiVincenzo because DiVincenzo is kind of just that plug, a fire light, but he doesn't really run offenses well. Oh my God, in transition though, DiVincenzo is fucking a miracle worker. We're going back to DiVincenzo, don't let me forget. But Conley isn't doing anything on the court. He's not running faster than anyone. He's not getting back and like kind of walling up or playing defensively. He's getting bypassed by the smallest guys always. And he's put on the weakest player, and they're still kind of scoring on him. Team worst, -11. Old ass tier. And that stays right there below bottoms. That sucks to say. Like it's a hard pill to swallow. It's hard to admit, but like I don't I don't know what to like make of Conley, but also vibe check. We won. It's like stop complaining, Ashwin. It's just a game. But it would be nice to see like let's get some action. Do we owe him a championship? Oh, it'd be so nice if Mike Conley gets a championship, especially with the Timberwolves. It'd be amazing. Like I wanted a championship for Rubio. Where's that championship? That didn't happen. Oh, that sucks. Oh, so it's like we can't win. We can't win at all that. And so if like Conley's like kind of dead weight, like let's move on. Like I really feel that way, and it's cool that you can kind of enable Gobert one play a game. We can do that with fucking Jeff Teague out of retirement. Like we don't want Jeff Teague, but like he could do it too. I'm just saying we need a threat out there. That's half the reason why our offense kind of slows down to a halt. Even it's because Conley's not a threat, James not a threat, Gobert's not a threat. You've heard this, you've read this, you probably think this. That's how Randall's like kind of like getting exposed sometimes. And that's how Ant can't really drive to the rim at times because these guys aren't threats. And that's why we have a big 8. Because the other 3 that come in are threats, are space creators, are people who can like really define transition play, hyper energy, hyper efficiency. They present that at least. Nas, and DiVincenzo, who we haven't talked about yet. Jane McDaniels. Oh, I'm sorry. But Mike is the glue. Let's give him that. And maybe, probably. Even if Mike is not so good, I still think he's a vocal and leader on the court. Yeah, we missed that when we lost Kyle Anderson. Even I would say Cat was like an underrated leader. We got Conley. That's great. But Ant's turning into one. I think Dante, DiVincenzo, and Na can be him. He's a great mentor to probably Rob Dillingham, but like we're not seeing Rob out the court. So what is his role? Like it's hard to kind of quantify it on a game by game, night to night, week by like now it's 30 games in and he hasn't done anything for us. So I don't know. I hate kind of like saying the same thing, but all right, moving on. Jaden McDaniels, 32 minutes, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 5 fouls. Holy crap. All those fouls were absolute garbage. 1 block shot, a steal. 0 for 4 from 3. And that's the biggest hurdle. That's the biggest obstacle in his way. Is if he gets that jump shot going, that putback dunk was awesome. Some of those transition plays are great. But it's just to be, and that's awesome. Like that's a good floor to have. You did the matchup well. Like Chris Paul did fuck all offensively, but he had 14 assists, and maybe you could allow Chris Paul to shoot more because his points are kind of irrelevant. They're kind of a wash, but his assists allow other people to get involved. Harrison Barnes pops off for fucking 24 points. If it wasn't for DiVincenzo scoring 26, Harrison Barnes would outscore the entire Timberwolves. Like that's so stupid, right? Like not combined, but just oh my god. Well, that's cool. Most importantly, I think that we started the game with Jaden kind of doing well, getting 4 points in the first quarter. And like I would say maybe his third quarter also was like most of his points. But like, yeah, so I think we just need to have him have a couple buckets a quarter. He feels good. He's like not just running up and down the court. And he's a threat. He is a threat if he gets his shot going, but he's been missing. But I think this was like a Timberwolves problem tonight. And not just like, we can't just blame Jaden. It was a Timberwolves problem tonight. 11 for 44 from 3 tonight. That's 25%. I don't know. Like, the Spurs weren't much better, but at least they weren't like chucking as often as we were. And I feel like, if you miss a couple, try going to the rim, get to the free throw line, then try again. And we didn't get that from all of our players. We were just really chucking to try to get back in the game in that way. Turns out just energy hustle is actually the medicine. Julius Randle, 34 minutes, 7 for 16 from the floor, including 0 for 7 from 3. Ouch. But 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, only 1 turnover, and that 1 turnover was early in the fourth quarter where he didn't have his eyes on the ball, and I think Spurs were kind of just like they had a new energy to them in that fourth quarter spurt. And I just want to say, while the stats don't look the part, and maybe even plus minus or whatever, some pretty solid defense. And I really just got to respect that because it's like, what a matchup nightmare. Like the guy's fucking 5 feet taller than you, and you're still bodying him up. You're out muscling him. You're not really giving him too much of a quarter of an inch, and that's impressive. And I think if you're engaged as a Julius Randle, you're engaged. You got to play well. You got to play with heart. You got to play with energy. If you're sagging off, if you're playing the Sohan matchup, you're going to just look dead. Um, and I think we figured that out. It took us a while, but we just can't have him play down to the level of competition or play sagging off and resting on defense. He has to play up to the man, to the screen, to the one of the better players on the court. He has to play defense because that's going to earn him a lot of minutes on the court too. And of course, he wants to be out there because, of course, he wants to be a distributor to score and all that. It's awesome to see. We had some wacky lineups tonight too. We had Nas, we had Randall, we had Minot, we had DiVincenzo. We didn't have Ant out there. We didn't have Gobert out there. So Randall is the point facilitator. And I mean, I guess he got some of it done, especially in that second quarter. That run was incredible, right? He was a part of that. All righty. That would be a B. Defense. B is fair. FJD. Hello. You made it home. Oof. Super fog out. Oh, it's great win. I'm sure I missed all the praise for our bench mob. You did not. I haven't talked about one specific player yet. Ish. What's up, Ish? Hey, y'all. Defense still wins games. That is kind of been the mantra to kind of hallmark the season so far is that we are struggling offensively. We are in ebb and flow where we'll win games because we shoot 50% from three and awesome. But sometimes we'll narrowly squeak by with shooting that well. It's our defensive energy and output that really kind of like translates on the court. So no matter what, you can like hold a team to 12 points in a quarter. Like you should win a game if you held someone to like less than 20 points in a quarter. You know what I mean? So awesome comment, honestly. Like defense is our mantra. It should be what we ride our DNA, and like kind of the message is deep and it's like through all of our players. That's why you're earning minutes on the court, Awesome comment. Yo, welcome to the show, my friend. Hey, Rudy Gobert, speaking of defense, 30 minutes, 6 for 12 on the floor, hit most of his free throws, 11 offensive rebounds. Oh my God. 15 rebounds total, 17 points, a double-double for our boy, 2 block shots, including one on Wemby himself. I'm giving him an A. It seems strange that a 17-15 output from Gobert is an anomaly, but we haven't seen too much of that this year. I feel like we have been processing how to use Gobert, and in fact, going against him several times a week. We just don't even feature him. We don't even the very first play of this game. Oop from Ant to Gobert. Let's set some sort of ground plane where Gobert is going to be a threat. You guys have to play off of him. You have to guard him. That opens up at least the mid range. And if the mid range is going, then the 3-point shot's going. And then if the 3-point shot's going, Rudy's open again. That totally makes a lot of sense in my head, at least. Your 3-point line wasn't going tonight, but Rudy was, and that was awesome. We had a couple oops to him, a couple putbacks, a couple graceful lays. That's Gobert. That's awesome. And he didn't have to really work hard for those points, but he worked really hard to get those extra possessions for us because we had 18 offensive rebounds to their 8. He dominated the boards tonight. Victor Wembanyama, for as great as of a talent is, he doesn't get a double-double very often. If it is, it's probably blocks. And he only had a couple blocks tonight, so oh my gosh. It was just also fun to see. He kind of has gotten dominated in matchups against Sengun, Jokic, other, foreign, other, bigs. And it's just not easy to swallow, not easy to stomach, not easy to like watch because is he being played off the court? Is he kind of like a matchup like uh he's not a matchup nightmare, but is he just like a problem for us to put on the court? Are we just going to get exposed? And a lot of people, a lot of teams, and a lot of people like fans even think that he's just a washed up big, but I think he has so much to give, and I think he's giving crap right now because I think defense is kind of coming around, and now his role and his vision, I think, is kind of being clarified a bit. Where Julius and Ant are looking for him, and I think Jaden and Na have a really good relationship with him. And if it's not Conley out there, it's got to be someone to help feed him the ball because that really helps open up the lanes and open up the 3-point line too. So I do like that we're not like throwing him out there for 40 minutes. I think we have a really dangerous small man lineup. I'm saying a lot right now to fill on all the dead air, but like it's great to also just have reasons to put Gobert back in. We're down 9 points. There's like 7 minutes to go. Let's put Gobert back in. He helps chunk it back up. And then we have an 8-point swing. Now we're up by a bunch. And if it wasn't for some late game, like if you look at the play-by-play, like Spurs kind of start to come back a little bit, but we hold on, and we don't get back in this game without Gobert. A for Gobert. Hope that's all right. All I know is White Dante is an A1. Cash. Oh, he could be a cash, but 6 for 12 isn't 9 for 12. Isn't a fadeaway in game 7. Okay. There's 2 players left. Anthony Edwards, 38 minutes, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Wow, that's awesome. 4 assists. A block shot, which was just heard around the world. 1 for 9 from 3. 1 free throw attempt. 6 for 20 is crazy bad. This might be a meh, if not a D-Lo. I'm giving him a meh. A little bit of tearflation. We won. It's hard to grade him low. He's so featured, and they're defensively scheming against him, and they have Barnes, to Sohan, to Vassell, to Keldon Johnson, to Stephen Castle. These are all good defensive players. Right? And then we're not fully spread out. We're not 5 out, so he can't get to the line. He can't drive to his spots. He's no Kobe, LJ, or MJ, LeBron. He's not any of those players yet because those players would have figured out how to get to their spots regardless of who this defense is, right? He's not there yet. That's okay. It's totally fine. You don't need to force it. I do kind of wish that he was not just a chucker tonight, though, because I really felt like he was kind of just empty possessions at times. I kind of want to give him a D-Lo, but I'm not going to. And let's see what Chad has to say. Almost a D-Lo. All right. Ant's been front of the rim from 3 out of 3 for about 5 weeks now. Oh, yeah. Oh, I understand. Oh, my God. That took longer than I expected to understand that. Yeah. He has been short on his threes, and maybe it's legs. Maybe it's just maybe it's the workout habits that kind of he doesn't get springy. He's more just kind of trying to stay kind of without overextending. He's just trying to maintain. Ooh, there's the word, maintain. Right, that's maybe part of it. I don't know. Whatever it is, this beginning of the year he was lights out. Now he's kind of come back to normal form. A 1 for 9 performance is easily going to just tank your percentage from 3. Almost a D-Lo. But out of respect to Ant, D-Lo gets traded to the Nets again. Ant is at least on a winning team right now. All right, the man of the hour, Chris Finch, Dante DiVincenzo, 33 minutes, 8 for 15 from the floor, 5 for 10 from 3, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Whoa! 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Whoa, a steal. A positive team high, plus 23 on the court. 26 points for our boy, the White Ragu. Have you ever had White Ragu? Is that What is that? Beef Stroganoff? Is that his name? Yeah. Beef Stroganoff. That's not good. Let's change it up. Let's call him something else. Let's call him Cash tonight. Dante DiVincenzo, Vincenzo. Fettuccine Alcenzo. Ooh, that almost worked. I'll keep working. Let's see. No. Al dente Cenzo. Damn it. We'll figure it out. Dante Divin. I can't do it. It's all you guys. Chef Boy R3. I love you. Chef Boy R3. R. Who cares? Charlie Barley. Nice. Love it. Let's put him in cash. Let's go to live results of the poll that 18 plus of you voted on while I'm transitioning. There's my face. Results. What now, Wad Squad? That's funny as fuck. That doesn't look that great. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Nope. Yeah. Oh. Hey. What now, Wad Squad? 6 of you say maybe only if the price is right. 5 of you say at the trade deadline. 4 of you say no trades. 3 of you say trade, make a move now. Useless. It's like there's no data to be extracted from this. Other than maybe all options are on the table. Back to me. Dante DiVincenzo. People were calling you Bumte. What was that? Cameron would call you Bumte. Oh my gosh. DD3. DiVincenzo was a Peyton Pritchard mode tonight. And you wouldn't argue for his first A1. Well, I will say this was a memorable game for reasons that I want to forget. Like, we built up a 16-point lead. That second quarter, just momentum from the bench mob, plus just the transition, plus the defense, plus the energy, right? That's the takeaway. But then they come back in with 23 points from Wemby in the second half. Chris Paul antics, Harrison Barnes, no dip threes. Keldon Johnson getting to the line for a bunch of fucking and ones. Get the hell out of here. Those are what I remember that in the comeback from the Spurs more so than DiVincenzo's performance. I'm sorry to admit that. But White Dante would have had a triple double if he was 2 inches taller. I'm with the no trade team. So we are. Let's just kind of go through those options. By the way, DiVincenzo could have been an A1. I'm not going to refute or I'm not going to debate that. Cat for me, because in the past 5, 6, 7 games, he's back. He's actually wearing our uniform and giving a fuck. And he's in a role where it's actually meaningful. He's getting a lot of playing time because his shots going down. If he's 1 for 10 and he's getting a lot of playing time, you kind of question it, right? Because also the beginning of the season, he was a bumte. He actually deserved no playing time because he was just walking up and down the court being miserable. I think a lot of it is just fish out of water in a new environment, new team, new dynamics. How do you fit in? We're having a problem offensively, and you're not making shots. Now you are. Now you're part of the system. Now you're incorporated. It feels good. Probably feels good to be a fan. Feels good to be Dante because he's I don't know if he was on the trading block or not, but people were thinking about it, The no trade option. That means we keep Julius, we keep Dante, we keep our bench the way it is. We keep Conley, we keep Gobert, we keep all these pieces, and we just ride this out this year. We might be a first round, second round exit. We might not even make the playoffs. All those options are on the table, right? I don't know what's going on with my nose. I'm sorry. I don't even know if we have a percentage chance of winning the championship here right now, oh my God, sorry guys. But were we thinking we were championship caliber ready? in Abu Dhabi last year preseason, like riding camels, and we just came off of like Kyle Anderson punching Gobert and knuckle punching walls. You know, like were we going to transition into sixth man of the year, defensive player of the year, coach of the year, you know, MVP kind of like season? Like we had no idea, and kind of we blew all expectations out of the water. One of the best, most memorable seasons of all time. Hey, I am so thankful for Game 7 in Denver. I'm so thankful for Games 1 and 2 in Denver. I'm so thankful for what last year gave to us as Timberwolves fans who've been struggling mightily to like keep the faith as a franchise, sports franchise. Oh my God, we're going 100 almost an hour in. 100 plus of you guys are still here. That's insane. But the season has been a bit of a struggle. That Boston game 8 or whatever it was, like both teams were like 6-1, 7-1 or something. It was so fucking awesome to see it just clamp up Tatum, right? Seeing those types of wins really galvanized the team. And then we just kind of embraced that and ran off of those vibes, ran off of that energy. Yes, we gave a shit on both ends because look at what it can produce. And look, we're at the top of the league. We're at the top of the West. We're being talked about. That feels freaking good, doesn't it? Now we're struggling, or now we were struggling, pointing fingers. Oh, the system's not working. Finch, what are you doing? Why can't you play the young guys? Why? Well, the young guys are not really doing anything defensively. So go back to the old guys. But you know, there's no injuries, so we can't really blame or scapegoat anyone. But that guy, you know, Julius isn't playing defense on a few possessions in one game, a couple games. So it's like, we found our answer. It's Julius, big Julius Randle. Defense is a problem. However, look at this game tonight. That was not at all the reason why we could have lost this game. Randall was amazing defensively, but he didn't produce as much offensively. It's just that sometimes that's how it goes. Luckily, we had other people to fill in the hole, as otherwise we would have maybe struggled in this game. DiVincenzo pops off for 22 points. The trade of Julius Randle and DiVincenzo produced 38 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Isn't that awesome? Maybe the right trade at the right time. Maybe before the trade deadline. Maybe a Conley for a piece. Maybe for no future assets. We don't want future assets right now. We want something to kind of win now because we need to fill in all the gaps right now of our team, or build off of these wins right now because this team is building chemistry. Ish says the momentum has definitely shifted. What you're seeing is what I'm seeing, Ish. That's awesome. I'm happy because I know Nas will stay with us. We also need it going against OKC and Boston this week. Oh my God. That's a reminder. A nice, healthy dose of reality is that we're about to face OKC and Boston this week. We have to stay together. We have to buckle in and put on the seatbelts and get ready for what could be a really hard next 2 games. As we close out the year, as we bring in the new year, I'm so thankful for all of you, but I'm also thankful for how the season has kind of shown us a lot to like get excited about. Ant start, Julius's kind of rejuvenation, and now Dante into the fold. Gobert being brought in again. Like there's a reason why we were as good as we were last year because Gobert was part of the flow on both sides. And he's not an afterthought. It's so meaningful to have the ball movement like happening, getting high assist rates, so that opens up the space in the floor for everyone else. When it's just ISO, it gets really frustrating, right? As a fan, but also as a teammate, as I'm sure that's not the reasons why we're like not playing play calling, but like I do feel like I have way too many thoughts right here. But like I do feel also like Finch needs to just instill more plays, more sets, more calls, and kind of get the start of games rolling smoother. So then whatever fucking Finch's flow or whatever the crap he has in store for us can be kind of utilized when maybe like the bench is in or when their second unit is in. So then we can kind of like run with flow with that, not the top top tier talent of every team, and we don't ride play calling and like have the ball moving. Because yeah, I mean they're probably stopping the first option, second option, third option, and then we kind of collapse and then we just do ISO crap. And that's what we saw in the third quarter. That's what we saw early stages of the fourth quarter. And luckily we come back from being down 9, but like consistency, right? Like we're seeing some shift as is shed, but like we got to keep building. So that means no trades, right? That means let's build with this. What if the right price is like what if it happens, you know? Like I think we as fans would probably embrace a trade, maybe even want one, but like a 3-game sample size of winning is not a 30-game sample size of going up and down. Very tumultuous season, right? Where it's been as fun as like the Jimmy Butler year, where that was very aggravating. We were winning games. We were about 500, right? We're an 8th seed. We get basically gentlemen swept by the Rockets. It was a very frustrating year. The first year of Gobert, where we were just like up and down all year because we couldn't utilize Gobert. We had to trade D'Lo. We had, had to like offload Beasley, right? Our team needs motivation only. If it was the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if anybody plays better in the regular season. Oh, that's interesting. Now gonna have a big game against his big cousin in OKC. I hope so. Um, cool. I'm glad that some of you guys are agreeing with what I'm saying. I'm kind of just spitting hot air. I think I'm going to probably close the show here soon. But I kind of do feel like we start games slow. There's a reason. There's a reason. Let's call timeout. Let's get a play going. Let's get an ATO. Let's get something cool. Let's get something fresh. Let's get some ball movement going because we saw that. We saw the recipe in the second quarter. All right. I feel like I'm saying the same thing. It's like the 12th time I said it. I could read off other stats, but the Spurs are kind of going through something right now, and it was fun to beat them, right? But like they could have beaten us, and they're a 500 team right now with parts. They have parts and Wemby, right? A superstar and parts, and I don't want to like undersell how good their parts are or whatever, but like Harrison Barnes should not pop off for fucking 24 points. What he did, right? Vassell, Keldon Johnson, they have an awesome team, but it's just parts. We have, dare I say, championship aspirations this year with this chain, which is trade. I don't think we're saying let's not do the same thing we did last year. So we have roadblocks, we have mental roadblocks, we have actual OKC and Boston roadblocks, but we have to trust in ourselves and like give into what our process has given us. But also now we have DiVincenzo. Now we have a weapon. Now we have a not like a reason for hope, but we have like exciting times ahead if like DiVincenzo and Ant can build off synergy together and kind of like Randall can be that playmaker that we've really wanting to. Because in the preseason we saw a lot of transition, a lot of pace, and like I totally understood why like a lot of these trades were made because the pace was set. But, like our half court offense is ass, man. Like in our roadmap of like how we get offense in the flow is not working. We need plays, man. And so I do hope that like we can shift into some simple play calling and getting more flow of ball movement through plays to happen. But I mean that's to be seen. We'll see what happens. Guys, it's an hour in plus. Can't thank you guys enough for sharing the tail end of the year with me and each other. All 150 plus of you. Wow, incredible. It's 11:40-ish p.m. CST. You guys have been great. As always, we're Wolves After Dark, but we're nothing without you. So be thankful for, you found each other here in this, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Just be awesome. Just be awesome. Continue to be awesome. Support the show. Give us a like. Join the Discord, #Discord. It'll be awesome to have you. Cameron will be here, hopefully, in the next show. And I'm just rambling. Guys, you're awesome. How do I close the show? Ish says, I don't see a championship this year or Western Conference final. I think it's a bit unrealistic. But the Western Conference is kind of wide open. If you see Houston and OKC and Dallas and Memphis at the top of the West, you want a piece of that pie. Lakers make a trade to like say, oh, Dorian Finney-Smith is going to be that. No, that's not going to be the answer. Maybe we make a small trade, just like spice things up. Maybe shore up our roster a little bit because we're going like 9-10 deep. Maybe we want to really only go to 8-9. I don't know. I'm not sure. So we'll see. Oh, that's all we need to do is end stream. Guys, thanks. Guys, gals, everyone else. Amazing. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Wolves win 112-110. We face OKC in Boston next this week. Hope to see you guys then. Until then, a woo and skull. All right, peace. Oh, wait. 52 wins. It's still in play. And intro as the outro. Love you all.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the world championship.
Edwards.